The headlines: 148 Niger farmers still in captivity 58 days after their abduction. Kano state government files fresh fraud charges against Ganduje. Court upholds Uzodinma's election as Imo State governor. On the foreign scene, Kenyan police fired tear gas as crowds call for Ruto's resignation. Good evening and welcome to Trust News Update. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. We begin in Niger State in the agrarian community of Kuchi in Muya local government area of Niger State, where despair hangs heavy in the community as residents lament the ongoing captivity of 148 farmers who are now spending their 53rd day in captivity. Overrun by more than 100 bandits, the community witnessed a brutal raid that resulted in the abduction of these farmers, among them pregnant women and children. The bandits, merciless in their demands, have set a ransom of 2 million naira and a Honda motorcycle for each captive. A local resident voiced the community's anguish, revealing that some of the captives have died in captivity. He shared the harrowing reality of many families who, after paying ransom, are sometimes informed of the deaths of their loved ones afterwards. Residents have made desperate appeals for the government to intervene, particularly emphasizing the need to secure the Dangunu River bank, a notorious crossing point for bandits entering Munya from Kaduna State. In response, the spokesperson of the Niger State Police Command assured that efforts are underway in collaboration with the military to rescue the victims. This coordinated operation between Niger and Kaduna State offers a glimmer of hope to a beleaguered community yearning for the safe return of their loved ones. Let's now speak to Daily Trust reporter in Niger State, Abubakar Akoti, who is joining us to provide some context to this development. Akoti, thank you so much for taking the time. What can you tell us about the severity of the situation? It's well over a month since these farmers have been abducted. What do we know so far about the rescue operation that the police promised was being undertaken?
Good evening. One thing that has stirred the rescue efforts of communities of their loved ones that are being in captivities for over a month is their inability to pay the millions of naira ransom demanded by bandits and motorcycles that bandits have also requested to be provided. Many of them claimed, said they are out of farms and their major occupation is farming, and which is their means of livelihood through which they will have raised money to pay this ransom. But unfortunately, for many years now, they have not been able to farm, so making it difficult for them to raise money, and no help is coming from either direction, whether from government or well-to-do individuals to help them.
What do we know about the ongoing negotiations since these ransom demands have been made? It's been over 50 days now. What is the community saying regarding how they're trying to secure the release of their loved ones?
The communities, the families of the victims have said that each family negotiates on behalf of their own loved ones. Of recent time, the negotiations are done secretly because they realize that when they gather to negotiate with the abductors, the informants within communities do tell the kidnappers of families that are well-to-do, and then tell them to increase the ransom. So which force many of them now to resolve that each family should negotiate for their own loved ones.
Right.
So when bandits call, based on the numbers provided by the loved ones that are with them, so each family negotiates. But they said the amount demanded by bandits have ranged between 1 million and 2 million naira per individual, and a motorcycle, preferably according to them Honda motorcycles, which they have not been able to provide. And they are helpless, as they say. Right now, most of them are in circuit power. Some are living in rented houses. Some are living with their relations. One of the district said told me that when I asked whether they have IDP camps where they live, he said there was nothing like IDP camps. For them, they are living with their relations, while some have rented houses, and even though they are struggling to pay for the houses they have rented.
Right. Akote, just before you go, what can you tell us about the Dangunu River Bank that is notorious as far as access to some of these communities to bandits are? What can you tell us about that strategic location and whether or not the security agencies are doing something about this point of access?
The Dangunu River is a border community. It's a river that divides Niger State with Kaduna State. And when the water rises, the bandits find it difficult to cross over to Muya, where to carry out attacks. But when the water level is low, they easily cross. That's the area the communities have said that government should be able to put security agencies there so that to prevent bandits from crossing. Because during rainy season, that's why the attacks in Muya is especially very low, because once the water level is high, they find it difficult to cross. But once the water level subsides, they cross easily, and they follow their normal route through communities to Kuchi, which extends to as far as Paikoro, the other local government where they normally attack communities. But so right now the water level is high, so they are not. That's why they have not been able to cross for some weeks now. The communities are calling on government to ensure that that river banks is condoned by security agencies, so that they will not be able to cross over to them, and that will also help them to return to their farms and continue with their farming activities.
Right, Abubakar Akote, thank you for the reporting and the update. We'll circle back as soon as there is more to discuss. Thank you so much for joining us on the news update. Abubakar Akote, the Trust TV and Daily Trust reporter in Niger State, providing us with an update since the kidnapping of those 148 farmers and their family members, moving to 54 now since they were abducted in Niger State. Still talking security, bandits on Sunday killed 4 persons and abducted 150 others, including 2 babies at the age of 6 and 8 months in an attack in Dan Isa village in Kauranamoda local government area of Zamfara State. Dan Isa is situated less than 14 kilometers from Gusau, the Zamfara State capital. The attack was reported just a week after 46 residents of Dogon Kade were released by bandits following an alleged payment of 21 million naira ransom. A resident of Dan Isa, whose wife and son were abducted, confirmed this incident to newsmen. The resident said the bandits stormed the village at around 3 p.m. on Sunday evening, and operated for 6 hours. According to him, the bandits arrived with about 150 motorbikes each, carrying 3 people, and began shooting sporadically, causing residents in the area to flee for safety. When contacted, the Zamfara State Police Commissioner, Muhammad Shehu, said the police had not received information about this attack. To Kano State now, where the State House of Assembly has passed the Kano State Emirates Council Establishment Bill 2024 following its 3rd reading on Tuesday. Sponsored by the Deputy Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, who represents the Rimingado Tofa State constituency, the bill lays the foundation for the establishment of Kano as a first-class emirate and the creation of 3 second-class emirates that include Rano, Gaya, and Karai. Under this new structure, the emirs of the 3 second-class emirates will be subordinate to the emir of Kano. They will possess the authority to advise the emir of Kano on matters concerning the maintenance of public order, boundary disputes, and conflicts between individuals within their jurisdictions.
Very good indeed. As I said during the 2nd reading, there should be a second-class emir which will consist Kare and Rogo. There should also be Gaya, which will consist Gaya, Ajingi, and Albasu. At the same time, there is Rano, which will also consist of Rano, Kibia, and Bunkuri.
Staying in Kano, the state government has filed fresh charges against the immediate past governor of Kano State and the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, at a state high court. According to the charge sheet, Ganduje and his former commissioner for justice, Musa Lawan, are named as the first and second defendants respectively. They face accusations of criminal conspiracy contrary to Section 96 and punishable under Section 97, criminal breach of trust contrary to Section 311 and punishable under Section 315, and criminal misappropriation contrary to Section 308 and punishable under Section 309 of the Penal Code as amended of the laws of Kano State. The alleged offences were committed in 2002. As of now, no date has been set for the commencement of the trial. In other news, Justice Muazu Hamza of the FCT High Court in Abuja has rejected an application by the immediate past governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, seeking permission to travel to the United Kingdom for a follow-up medical checkup. In his ruling, Justice Muazu stated that Emefiele failed to provide sufficient evidence to demonstrate that the medical trip was essential and unavoidable. Despite Emefiele's claim that he had an invitation to receive medical attention in the United Kingdom, he did not present a copy of this invitation to the court. The judge also noted that Emefiele did not prove that his ailment could not be treated within Nigeria. Additionally, Justice Muazu highlighted that Emefiele is currently facing charges in 3 other courts, further influencing the decision to deny his travel request. Staying with the courts, the Court of Appeal in Abuja has dismissed the appeal filed by the People's Democratic Party and its governorship candidate in Imo State, Samuel Anyanwu, challenging the decision of the Imo State Tribunal that affirmed Governor Hope Uzodinma as the legitimate governor of Imo State. The court found that the appeal lacked merit, resolving all issues against the appellants. Similarly, the appellate court dismissed appeals by the Labour Party and its candidate, Achonu Neji, as well as the Allied People's Movement, also citing lack of merit. The appellants had contested the tribunal's judgment, claiming the November 11, 2023 election was invalid due to the non-compliance with the Electoral Act as amended. They also questioned Uzodinma's qualification, alleging that his WAEC certificate was forged. However, the 3-man panel led by Justice Beatrice Sanga concluded that the appellants failed to prove the alleged non-compliance and did not substantiate the claim that the governor submitted a forged certificate. Elsewhere, the Osun State government has intensified preventive measures to curb the spread of cholera across parts of the state. Governor of the state, Ademola Adeleke, has urged residents to prioritize personal and environmental hygiene while also advising citizens to visit the nearest health center if they notice symptoms of the bacterial disease. Here is Hamid Oyegbade with more on the story.
Provision of healthcare facilities, especially in the local communities, is part of strategies adopted by the Osun State government to safeguard the health of the people of the state. During the inauguration of one of the health centers at Oluode community in Iwo Town, built under Osun Care, the state governor Ademola Adeleke appealed to residents to maintain the facility. A resident of Oluode community, Adigun Ademola, said the facility has addressed the major challenge faced by the people of the community.
Thank God that we have this opportunity from the CSDA. They gave us the opportunity to have this maternity, because this maternity will serve 42 compounds in this Gidigbo Ward 2. In Gidigbo Ward 2, we have many compounds. We have Ilere, we have Olode, we have Ilearo, we have Osi, and something like that. So we have like 42 compounds that this will serve.
The approach that we use in Community Social Development Agency is bottom-up approach, demand-driven. It's because the communities are in need of the maternity center. And it's also going to take care of general sickness as well. And this health center will serve 42 compounds. There are 42 compounds around this place. So it will touch into many people. And you can see where this place is at. It is really grassroots. It's touching the very, very, very down people here. So that is one thing we can talk about it. And we look at this development as an inclusive development, that the very poor ones are not excluded from development.
The resident said the facility will enhance healthcare delivery in the community. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Oshogbo.
The National Examination Council has released the 2024 Common Entrance Examination results for Unity Schools, revealing that no fewer than 13 candidates scored 1. Now, this information was shared by the Minister of State for Education, Yusuf Sununu, who provided an overview of the examination outcome. Here's the report.
A total of 71,291 candidates participated in the 2024 National Common Entrance Examination held in 599 centers on Saturday, June 1st, 2024. NECO data indicated that Lagos State had the highest number of candidates with 17,751, followed by the Federal Capital Territory with 10,209 candidates, and Anambra State in third place with 4,972 candidates. Sununu noted that 4,360 candidates were absent, with 66,931 candidates took the exam. He noted that one candidate achieved the highest score of 203 out of a possible 210.
2 candidates from Lagos State and 50 candidates from Rivers State were involved in examination malpractice. While for a government academic examination, 2,649 candidates registered for the examination, out of which 2,336 candidates sat for the examination. 313 candidates were absent. The highest score was 180, while the lowest was 5.
The minister confirmed that the admission process would continue to be based on 60% merits as usual.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. We'll be back in just a moment with more. Stay with us.
Are you in search of a top-tier studio equipped with state-of-the-art gear for your next productions? Look no further than Trust TV. At Trust TV, we pride ourselves on offering a sizable studio space, furnished with cutting-edge equipment, perfect for podcasts, video productions, and audience-based shows. From professional cameras to advanced lighting setups, we've got everything you need to bring your vision to life. And the best part, our rates are affordable without compromising on quality. Ready to elevate your productions? Contact Aisha at 0803-646-3018 to book your studio at Trust TV today.
Welcome back to the news. Let's take a quick look at our top stories. 148 Niger farmers still in captivity 53 days after. The Kano state government has filed fresh fraud charges against Ganduje. Now, beans cake, commonly known as akara in parts of Nigeria, are a rich source of macronutrients, particularly protein, and are also abundant in carbohydrates. Traditionally regarded as a poor man's food, this popular African light snack has recently seen a rise in price due to the current economic situation in the country. Here's Victoria Tokolo's report as presented from our studio.
Bean cakes, also known as akara, is made from beans and is a popular delicacy in Africa, particularly in Nigeria. This African light food is often regarded as a poor man's food and is widely consumed by Nigerians either as breakfast in the morning or as a snack any time of the day. According to health dietitian nutritionists, akara contains protein that enriches and nourishes the body system.
Taking the akara as breakfast, we always say that breakfast is very, very important in the morning. You can take the akara with any cereal, pap, ground. It makes the body very light, not as heavy as possible. And you get glucose from this.
The sellers and consumers of akara lament the high cost of ingredients used for its preparation.
This business akara before, we dey sell like one akara, 10 naira. The time when this dey like 400 naira or 500, 700. But now, business akara don turn to 50 naira. Some people myself, some area, when they sell 100 naira.
Na small gain, na tori everything don cost. I no gain, na small gain. Now, before e dey gain, but now I no gain. So na peace long.
I'm reaching akara now because the price of akara now is 15 naira per one. Now it's 15 naira. But before they are buying it 20 naira. 20 naira, from 10 naira to 20 naira, then from 20 naira to 15 naira now.
A health nutritionist dietitian said preparation must be done with proper hygiene.
The oil you are using in frying these beans. Now, I want the public to know that this oil, we have different types of oil. Using oil more than twice is not healthy. So when you are frying the akara, it should be used once in order to get the main benefits from the oil, which is source of fatty acid.
Health dietitians advise the general public to be mindful of the environment where they purchase their bean cakes, called akara, from, as it is very crucial to be conscious of the surroundings to prevent foodborne diseases such as cholera and other infectious diseases.
Now, the federal government of Nigeria has repatriated a total of 190 Nigerians from the United Arab Emirates. According to a statement by the National Emergency Management Agency signed by its Director General Bashir Garga, the returnees were received on Tuesday at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja by a combined team of government officials led by NEMA. NEMA reported that the returnees have been profiled and documented by relevant agencies and were advised to conduct themselves with decorum and responsibility upon their return to Nigeria. The federal government also urged all Nigerians, wherever they may be, to act as exemplary ambassadors to the country while upholding the fundamental values of patriotism, rule of law, decency, and integrity. To developments on the international scene. On Tuesday, Kenyan police used tear gas to disperse protesters aimed at maintaining pressure on President William Ruto to step down from office. The demonstrations, despite Ruto's attempts to placate the public with several changes in his government, continue to persist. Led by activists angered by proposed tax hikes, the protests called for national shutdown. Even though Ruto withdrew $2.7 billion in tax hikes and replaced most of his cabinet, the protests continue, albeit with fewer participants. The demonstrators demand Ruto's resignation, accusing him of poor governance, corruption, and responsibility for the deaths of protesters in earlier rallies. In Kitengela, near Nairobi, police fired tear gas at about 200 protesters who were burning tires and chanting against Ruto. Similar scenes unfolded in Nairobi's city center and Mombasa, where protesters also faced tear gas. On Monday, Ruto accused the Ford Foundation of funding the protests, though he provided no evidence to support his claim. The Ford Foundation has denied these allegations, asserting that it does not fund protests and adheres to a non-partisan policy. Well, Well, that's it. You're up to date with the latest news stories at this hour. For more, check back a little later at 9 o'clock. For now, follow us across our social media platforms to catch up and to stay in touch. You can also visit our website, trusttv.com, for the latest news, programs, and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for your time.